If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option, as Sori says. 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go into Village, facebook.com/VillageXchange. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing. But,
and it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed at Chao
To buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. We are at the beginning of a wonderful night on a Friday. You guys know. You guys.
Okay.
You know, there's this movie. Oh shit, man. Give me that. Give me that picture, bro.
Okay, it is in the thumbnail.
Okay, guys. So we are gonna get into our time machine. The big homie, DJ Nick.
There you go.
The big homie DJ Nick is putting us all in a time machine, and we're Revo style, and we are going into the
freezer. I did.
We are going into the 1980s, dear listener. I don't know. Have you ever seen these guys? You know what they look like? Very angular faces, very handsome individuals. This dude right here, the lead singer for this band, I forgot his name, but like this dude like is another one of these cats that like never really ages. He's like that dude from Lost.
Oh.
Like this man looks exactly the same way every time I see a picture. He always looks like this guy. All right. So we are in the 1980s thanks to the big homie
80s
DJ
favorite
Nick.
Stream says DJ Nick. This the first
song. Technically Nick is a director, as in gent, right? He's a director.
Right, that's true.
The big homie Nick is. But Fridays belong to him. He owns Fridays.
That's basically what it's been amounting to as of late.
Shout out to the big homie Nick.
True.
Director Nick.
So a director is somebody who does music, has us do music reviews, and also somebody who brings great content through movies to us or shows. And so DJ Nick is a director.
A director.
So the first song on our list tonight is Rem. Give me that timestamp, please.
That's R-E-M, not Rem. The name of the band is R-E-M.
R-E-M.
Yeah.
What if you read it?
You know, sometimes was just a dream.
Bless you.
That's me in the corner.
Oh, yeah.
That's R.E.M.
Okay. That part sounded familiar. I don't know the song really.
That's me in the spotlight, losing my religion.
All right, so
try and keep something. All right. So, Director Nick in the house. Do we have any intros before we do song one?
So, Director Nick says this song was released by alternative rock band R.E.M. as the second single off their 1987 album Document. It charted at 16 on the U.S. Billboard mainstream rock chart. The verses are sung in an almost rap rhythm with catchy chorus. Vocalist Michael Stipe said the lyrics came from random things he saw flipping channels on his TV, as well as dreams, and are basically a collection of streams of consciousness. Okay. That's actually pretty interesting.
All right, song number 1. Oh, Lost hated this bitch. Nick in this bitch. Dwayne Chamberlain in this bitch.
Right.
Ben Bear. Hey,
Sending...
speaking of Ben Bear, Middle Earth in this bitch. Speaking of Ben Bear,
you shall be receiving an email from me soon.
Yes, shortly.
In very short time.
Hey, the big homie BC, man, all our people are here, man. Shout out to BC. BC in this bitch. Okay, guys,
right,
here we go.
Let's do it. Let's
Song
not waste any time. We already took
R-E-M.
the time to say it now. Let's go.
It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine.
Okay, let's do it. And I feel
That's great, it starts with an earthquake, birds and snakes, an airplane, and Lenny Bruce is not afraid. I have a hurricane, listen to yourself, churn, world serves its own needs, dummy serve your own needs, beat it up an ox, beat, grunt, no strength, the ladder starts to clatter with fear, bite down, high wire and a fire, represented 7 games in the government for hire and a combat site. Left to us are coming in a hurry with the furies breathing down your neck. Team my team reporters baffle Trump, tether crop, look at that, no plane, fine, then, overflow, population common food, but it'll do, save yourself, serve yourself, world serves its own needs, listen to your heart, bleed, dummy with the rapture and the reverend and the right, you patriotic, slam, fight, bright, light, feeling, pretty sight, it's the end of the world, as we know it, it's the end of the world, as we know it, it's the end of the world, as we know it, and I feel fine. 6 o'clock TV hour, don't get caught in foreign tower, slice and burn, return, listen to yourself churn, locking in, uniform and book, burning blood, letting every motive escalate, automotive incinerate, light a candle, light a motive, step down, watching heel crush, this means no fear, cavalier, renegade, steer clear, tournament of lies, offer me solutions, offer me alternatives, and I decline, it's the end of the world as we know it, it's the end of the world as we know it, it's the end of the world as we know it, I feel fine. The other night I drifted nice, continental drift divide, mountain sit in a line, Leonard Bernstein, Leonard Brezhnev, Lenny Bruce and Lester Banks, birthday party, cheesecake, jelly bean, boom, you symbiotic, patriotic, slam button, that, right, it's the end of the world as we know it, it's the end of the world as we know it, it's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Like this other.
It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine.
wow.
Okay. That was
It's
a
the end of
song.
the world as we know it. And I feel fine. Is the name of the song. It's the entire chorus.
Junior used to sing that chorus.
Oh, really?
I remember hearing that chorus and he kept saying, I feel fine. I'm like, okay, weirdo. Turns out it was this song.
Yeah,
Why did you tell me where the line came from, you weirdo?
Here. Boop. This is how I knew it. This little gem right here.
Oh, Chicken Little.
Yeah, and that's where I heard the song.
It's the end of the world.
Yeah,
okay,
and they play the song in there. They don't play the whole song. They just play the chorus part. And I remember when I heard it, I was like, hey, I like that. And I kept rewinding it. Made the kids wait. Rewound it a couple times to hear it. But I never, like, at the time when I actually saw it, I saw it on DVD, and I didn't have the internet. So I couldn't look it up and see what the rest of the song was.
Chris Topsy. If your name is really Chris, that's probably one of the most inventive, cleverest names I've seen in quite some time.
Why? I don't understand it.
Well, because it's Cryptopsy is the name of the band. But he's got it as Crys, so that would be kind of Chris Topsy. Oh. So you'd combine your first name in the band.
I see.
Wow. Okay, so this dude apparently was pretty. Michael Stipe is the name of the lead singer. Okay. So Delaney's got some history for us. Michael Stipe and Kurt Cobain were good friends. They had planned on doing an album together to get Kurt out of his depression slump, which didn't happen for obvious reasons. So.
That's too bad.
And then Stipe is Cobain's daughter's godfather. So there's still, you know what I'm saying? Like he's still around in that sense for her.
No, Ben. No. I'm much older than you think, Ben. I played the Satanic movie for my child. My parents didn't let us watch that. I don't even think it was out when I was in my parents' home.
Which Satanic movie?
I think he's talking about the Chicken Little movie. I'm pretty sure
you were allowed to watch Chicken Little.
We probably would have been able to watch Chicken Little, to be honest with you. But I think it came out way too late, like 2005.
La ilaha illallah. Okay.
I mean, I would have been way too old to be at my parents' house.
It's funny, like it really did feel like rappy to me, like at some parts. Like you could definitely, especially now, like this dude had more bars than. Look at that. Yeah. Okay, so what did you think? What did you think of the song?
Well, okay. I love the chorus, and to be honest with you, I'm a little bit disappointed at the verses because I wanted the verses to be as catchy as the chorus.
He was rapping though.
Yeah, but they didn't strike me as much as the chorus. I freaking love the chorus. The entire song could just be the chorus over and over and over, and I would just vibe with it.
The chorus is legendary.
It's so good. But then the other, like, that's great. It starts with an earthquake, birds and snakes, an aeroplane, and Lenny Bruce is not afraid. Who's Lenny Bruce?
He's a comedian, I'm pretty sure. I heard Jimmy Dore talk about him a few times. I'm pretty sure Lenny Bruce is some sort of comedian, I think, inshallah. We'll see. Yeah, it's interesting.
You're right.
It's interesting. He was talking about...
He's also a social critic.
He was also talking... He was talking about, like, this is a stream of consciousness to a degree.
Yeah. Well, and it was also random stuff that he saw while watching the news or something. So.
Yeah, exactly right. Like, which is really, really funny to me.
Why?
Because, like, when you look at the background,
what did he get locked up for, Nelson?
When you look at the background, it's like, oh, it's Michael Stipe. He's kind of like an intellectual type dude. Like, I've listened to a couple of interviews from him. Okay. And really intelligent guy, kind of sarcastic.
So, does this one come across as... What's unique to you about it being that it's him?
What do you mean?
It sounded like you were going to say, like, he's this type of person, but this song was something... Well, just finish your thought.
He's not the type of person that you'd initially look at and be like, oh, this guy's got bars. He can rap. Uh-huh. See what I'm saying? Like, Michael Stipe looks like one of the most unassuming white dudes you'll see ever.
All right, show me. Oh, look. Here's a picture.
Yeah, which one is he? That's him right there. Much younger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, So that's
Wow.
if you look at him, that's him right there. Look at that. That's him. So
Okay.
he's got a very, very,
Yeah.
it's one of those things you can't judge a book by its cover. I have a hurricane, listen to yourself churn. World serves its own need, don't misserve your own needs. Speed it up a notch, speed grunt, no strength. The ladder starts to clatter with fear of height.
Hold on.
Huh?
He got thrown in jail for dirty jokes that weren't even that dirty, says Nelson? Is
No,
that
not
true?
Michael Stipe, the other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They threw him in jail for dirty jokes?
Yeah, it would not surprise me if they did.
That's crazy. That side is the ones with the spicy all over it.
Yeah, I would. It wouldn't be surprising to me if they locked up the
Jail?
homie for a little bit.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Stuff's getting interesting.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
No.
Sean just confirmed
So we didn't
it.
have freedom of speech then? What? They tried.
No.
They tried, says Nelson. Oh, they tried to lock him up, but he didn't actually. That's crazy. I can't even believe it. All right. Well, poor guy. So it just basically, that's great. It starts with an earthquake, birds and snakes, an aeroplane, and Lenny Bruce is not afraid. Oh, that's why they're saying Lenny Bruce is not afraid. I have a hurricane. Listen to yourself churn. World serves its own needs. Don't misserve your own needs. Speed it up a notch. Speed it up. Grunt. No strength. That's kind of interesting. Like, world serves its own needs. Don't misserve your own needs. Is he saying everybody's out to serve themselves and don't be the same?
Mm-hmm.
But then the chorus is, it's the end of the world as we know it.
Well, he says, don't misserve your own needs. So I think that line is, hey, the world is worried about itself. It's not worried about you. Mm-hmm. So you need to worry about yourself and not worry about the world.
Oh.
See what I'm saying? I have did he mention Trump in this song?
What?
Look, team by team, reporters baffled. Trump. Tethered crop. Look at that low plane. Fine then. So.
Trump, yeah.
I don't know what year this song came out, but definitely like for a lot of these young cats who just like think Trump entered the scene like in 2016.
Yeah.
This man has been a staple since day one.
He's been around.
Yeah, I mean, we literally came up with a term because of him, the trumped up charges.
Yeah.
That's literally because of Donald Trump. Like, shit's crazy. He's
been
crazy.
grabbing good deals all along.
Yeah. I guess he's tired of winning. But like, this was before Trump was such a polarizing figure.
I mean, his name was being used.
At this time right here, he was like a symbol of, American prosperity, the bravado, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And he, I don't want to say he was loved universally, but everybody pretty much liked him. He was a funny cat. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
I feel like I'd like to watch his. Didn't he have like some show, like the Apprentice or something?
Yeah, the You're Fired one. He like.
I feel like I'd enjoy watching that.
Yeah, for sure. It looked like Trump was one of the first, like, rich celebrities whose celebrity has to do just with the fact that he's rich, not anything else. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was kind of like the first one to, like, cross that boundary
Really?
and be a star,
Just
even though he wasn't doing any Hollywood shit. See what I'm saying?
Ah, okay.
Like, he was the person that the Hollywood actors were making movies about. See what I'm saying? Like, when you have a young rich guy who's going around doing all type of shit like that you saw in Hollywood, he was actually in that. He lived that life. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, it was very interesting. That's why I'm saying, like, for me, in my age bracket, I remember a time when Trump was basically like a national hero. Everybody liked him, type of thing. He was always kind of like, you didn't take him too seriously because he was always like partying and shit. But like, oh man, Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
And now it's like, oh, we hate him. He's terrible. He who shall not be named. It's like weird.
Orange
bro.
man bad.
Weird.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, I mean, he didn't really have any capacity to hurt anybody when he was just a young rich party guy in Manhattan. You know what I'm saying? Now he can. He's got access to nuclear codes, all type of shit.
Is it true that he don't take a bite yet? Is it true that he has a golden toilet? Or is that just...
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that. It wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah, so he's right. Like, this just sounds like a complete stream of consciousness. But that line, as we know it, is brilliant. Because I remember when 9/11 happened.
Oh.
And I had a little notebook.
Bro, I put that literally at the end of the world. But you're right. It's as we know it.
Yeah, as we know it.
Okay, so what were you saying?
Well, I remember, like, after 9/11, because we stayed in school that day, and we were in our civics class. And, you know, the teacher was still dealing with it. Like, you could tell she was clearly shell-shocked. And, I mean, the distance between Maine and New York is about a 5-hour, 6-hour drive. If you're, you know.
You're right, 6 hours, I think.
Jamie and Azuma and them got there in 4 hours one time.
You could do that.
Azuma was going 100 miles an hour.
That's so crazy. I for some reason keep forgetting that you were literally in the same state as me when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild. I feel like you're too cool for Maine. That's so bad, but that's how I feel about it. Okay, so are we going line by line here, or where were you at? Because you were doing Trump.
The point of what I was saying was, you know, Trump gets mentioned, and it's not in this overly negative. You know what I'm saying? It's just weird how. Yeah,
because he's just one of the thoughts that came through. Yeah. Look at that low plane. Fine then. Oh, wait.
That low plane.
You think that's we were talking about?
Yeah, he was just watching the news, and there's a low flying plane. I mean, obviously, this is well before 9/11. Before 9/11.
Population, common food, but it'll do. Save yourself, serve yourself. World serves its own needs. Listen to your heart bleed. Tell me with the rapture and the reverend in the right.
Yeah, that line though, end of the world as we know it.
Yeah.
I knew that 9/11 was that. I knew it. I wish I'd have kept that notebook.
Oh my God.
But I wrote, like, you know, September 11th, and I think I put the time or whatever. And I was like, I wrote down, like, literally, my world will never be the same. Because I knew it. I was like, this is going to completely change everything. You know, I knew it.
Too. Man, they the TSA. They just...
Yeah, and everybody was talking about Pearl Harbor, and at the time I was like, no, because Pearl Harbor was a legit target. Like, these are war fighters. This is the Navy. So those were legitimate targets. See what I'm saying? But 9/11 was civilians. And, you know, as an American, you're going to say civilian targets are off the board. Obviously, the rest of the world is laughing at us like, oh, really? Civilian targets are off the board? Interesting, America. Very, very interesting. I think about that a lot, though, like the whole concept of the end of the world, because, you know, as Christians, we have this concept of the end of the world, the final judgment or whatever.
Yeah.
It was funny because we were talking about this, like, I think it was yesterday. We were talking about all those disaster movies you loved. You know, what was
Twister, Volcano, Day After Tomorrow.
Yeah, like, people facing, like, their impending death is a very unfortunate, morbid fascination. I don't know.
Well, you know what's weird? When I would watch those movies, I'd be like, yeah, but that wouldn't happen to me. Like, I always felt like, you know, like when you watch a movie, because it's like, it's almost hindsight when you're watching a movie. Because you're, like, seeing it from, like, farther back. So you're like, oh, they should just go over there. But when you're in the middle of it, it's completely different. Like, there's times...
Agreed.
There's times in my life where I'm like, yo, bro, that was so stupid. I can't believe I just did that. And then I'm like, but if I would have been watching myself on the TV screen, I would have been like, oh, what is she doing? But when you're in the middle of it, you're like, da-da-da. Yeah, especially when you're scared. People make really bad mistakes when they're scared.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Well, the chorus also reminds me of, like, this is so bad. The attitude of dispensationalists. Every time there's a disaster that happens, because according to that theology, there's going to be wars and rumors of wars, and the end of the world is going to come when stuff gets really bad. Now, go ahead.
Well, the phrase "wars and rumors of wars" is a phrase that Jesus uses in Matthew chapter 24, which we believe is talking about the
70
unrest
AD.
in the Roman governmental structure. Not, you know, there's going to be perpetual war in the Middle East till the end of the world or whatever. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead, continue.
So like does that, and it talk, you know, also like talks about like, you know, the moon turning to blood. There's all these like descriptions, but that actually, if you listen to Wars of the Jews, a lot of the stuff like it lines up. It's insane. It's actually really creepy if you take the time to listen to it, because the way that the scriptures line up with 70 AD, it's just.
Yeah.
There's just no way to explain it, and when you just sit there it's a little bit more difficult if you don't already know what the verses are in the Bible. But if you're very familiar, which we were, with the whole rapture story, and then you hear that stuff, it's just insane. But anyway,
well, that's the big thing is the, I think Kai actually sent us the link to the movie, but there's this movie about evangelicals and their influence with the government, particularly around Israel and all that.
yeah,
And how every time something really terrible happens, these people are always celebrating, because to them it means the rapture is right around the corner. I just got done listening to a guy. The rapture is when Jesus comes down, you know, like halfway in the clouds, and then all the believers disappear and meet Jesus in the clouds, and then he takes us to heaven, and then the planet Earth now has to deal with the fact that there are millions, possibly billions of people missing.
mm-hmm.
All your little children are gone, etc., etc. Your favorite YouTubers are gone because they got raptured. And then now the world gets thrown into a chaotic kind of free-for-all from which Antichrist emerges. So, like, this whole, like, end of the world, all that stuff, like, I don't believe we're anywhere close to the end of the world at all in any way, shape, or form. I believe the human family is, like, we're at a toddler stage right now. Like, and you know what toddlers can do? Toddlers are not like babies. Like, they're a little bit ambulatory. They're a little bit mobile. They're very curious. And they've mastered the pincer grip, you know? And so, like, you know, when you get to that age, yeah, you want to start exploring and all the rest of it. All the other shit starts to be boring. And so, anyway, go ahead.
So with this rapture stuff, I remember one of the things they told us, for whatever reason, they always said that people's clothes would be like neatly folded. And I don't know if that's because when Jesus rose from the dead, it says the cloth that was around his face was like folded inside the tomb. I guess that's where they get it from.
Dwayne, if he's being serious, Dwayne is in the movie Twisters. Like, in the movie, supposedly. Had a blast on that set. Big Hollywood production, great food. Well, he's on Reservoir.
Dwayne, you need to send me a screenshot of where you are in that.
He's on Reservoir Dogs.
Let me verify that myself. Anyway, so they talk about these neatly folded clothes. I remember when I was a kid and I found that out, and I was like, you have to understand, like, evangelical culture, they're also purity culture. In some groups, and that was the group that I was a part of. So there's like a hyper focus on pure sexuality and what makes you dirty and all these different things. Like, there's a lot of focus on it. And so I like nakedness, nudity, all this is like really, really, really bad. And so much so that I know people that have grown up in that when they got married, they felt uncomfortable because they were like, so this is okay now? Like, yesterday it wasn't, today it is. Because so they felt that like nakedness was bad. So
true.
So it's crazy setup. So anyway, they tell us that the rapture is going to happen. We're in church.
That's why when we had the man studies, I said, boys, what is the first commandment that God gave us? Oh, love the Lord your God, blah, 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 blah. I was like, nope. It was be fruitful and multiply.
You've always made it. You never went on that purity culture stuff like that.
I never went on the purity culture.
Anyway, they tell us that the rapture's going to happen.
I'm not out here trying to destroy.
And everybody's clothes are folded.
Right.
So then I was like,
right, he raptures you right out of your clothes.
Then everybody's flying into the sky naked.
That's what you thought at the time.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I said, because the other thing too is we believe that if you like made a sin, like certain sins, like I remember them asking a question like, what if you were the type of person that curses? and then you decided to stop cursing. And then right before you died, you got in a car accident. And as you're about to crash, you were like, fuck. And then you crash.
Yeah.
Are you going to heaven or not? I remember that question getting posed. So I'm like, all these people are going to get raptured up naked.
I said they died in a sinful state, didn't get to repent. So.
I just didn't understand how that was going to work. Like, how is everybody going to be flying up into the sky naked without seeing each other? And then can they still go? Are they going to go back down?
You didn't reason that God could have, like, simultaneous to the clothes being left behind, clothed us with, like, heavenly garments?
No, I never thought of that. I just thought, this is a problem, I think. Because I'm not sure this is going to work for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, like, that's an interesting name, Mr. Gentile Killer. That's an interesting name. We'll allow it for now.
For now. Anyway, so I like the song overall. The little, like, you know, I didn't like the in-betweens so much because I loved the chorus to the degree that I did. So, the chorus is like a 10 for me.
I'm the opposite, actually.
What?
Yeah, because I came from hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? That's where I came from. And, like,
yeah.
Again, I think that the current modern-day rappers, black, white, whatever, I think they have a different skill set than just, we're going to focus on making the craziest lyrics we could possibly make. Mm-hmm. They got other things that they're worried about. So I'm not going to diss the new generation as far as their rap skills go. But there are, because of the expansive nature and what rappers are called, because they got to sing, they got to, you know, like, they're not able, it's kind of like natural, they're not able to focus on developing the lyrics like the people that we used to follow used to do. So because of that, you get these situations where it's like, they're not as lyrically gifted. This song right here, like, lyrically in the places where he's rapping, mm-hmm. I would put this dude up against probably your top 5 mumble rappers right now.
Oh, well,
like,
yeah.
He could do it. He can rap. He's got he got bars, for real. I just thought that was interesting because we've all heard that chorus, but it's like, I didn't even know that these lyrics were connected to that chorus. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised because I thought we were literally talking about the end of the world because, again, when I got introduced to it, they thought it was the end of the world in that little cartoon.
Yep.
So I thought it was literally about the end of the world, not as we know it. That makes sense.
All right, what'd you give it?
9.4 for me.
Hey, Kaya, we started watching that Jesus thing. What is it, like, I forgot the name of it. But remember all the evangelicals calling for Armageddon and supporting it? Israel. They don't say Israel. They say Israel. Israel. Anybody who hates Israel. It was funny. I was watching I'm going to show you later. But it's this Jewish dude, and he was like, he showed this one dude, he was Jordanian or something like that, and the dude was like, you know, stop killing all these people, blah, 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 we're going to go defend our brothers, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. I swear to God, 2 seconds later, the guy dropped dead, like right there on stage. So the Christian dude is like, see, he said something against Israel, and then God struck him dead where he stood, you know? And then there are like 3 or 4 other people that were saying like, hey, the Palestinians need a state. And then they got killed in a plane crash. He's like, this is what happens when you ask for a Palestinian state. Look at God killing all these people for the Jews. It's crazy. It was a crazy, crazy video to watch. Crazy.
Just send it to Vinny. I don't want to see it.
Send what? Oh, Dwayne's naked selfie. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
All right, you guys. Billy Joel is up next.
What did you give this song?
I give it a 9.4. Oh, yeah, you didn't rate it.
You get a 9.4?
Yeah.
I'm going to get this one a 9.8. This is a classic.
I mean,
this is a classic song.
I get it.
It deserves it. REM in this bitch. Sori, DJ, actually, Director Nick. Y'all know what it is. Vid out.
Sori out.
Go.